Today on the MrMaple Show podcast, it's the April Collector's Corner Special.
Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to another MrMaple podcast. Today we're doing another Collector's Corner. I'm Matt, and that's my brother Tim. We love talking about Japanese maples all the time. So if you like that kind of thing, make sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform, or go check us out on YouTube on the MrMaple Show.
Y'all, these Collector's Corners, what we do is we give each other, we pick 10 basically topics, and we select a maple from that topic. And so each of these categories, it may not be our favorite, but it's one that popped into our head when we thought about this category.
And it can be seasonal too.
Yeah, it can be seasonal. It changes all throughout the year. It's a fun thing to do because it allows us to talk about trees that sometimes we don't always talk about, or it allows us to talk even more about some of the trees we really like to talk about. So our first category we started with was a Higashiyama type. These are style variegation of a palmatum type that has like these green veins, but with some like really awesome reticulation. And the one I chose was Agape. This is a seedling that we introduced here at MrMaple. We started grafting it, and we've never released it yet. I don't think officially. I don't think we've even put this on eBay before. It's coming out in the near future. It's a really strong reticulated style that gives you some really nice pink. Sometimes you can have completely pink leaves on it. And it is just outrageous on that reticulated style.
Love it. We recently did a whole Higashiyama style podcast. You have to check that out. Agape, though, named for Aunt Mary, really cool plant. It was the way she witnessed to people. She liked to have agape on her tag always. Agape means God's love for man. Always plan on incorporating that into gardening. I mean, I feel like God's love for man is really expressed in gardening, right? I mean, I get out here and look at the springtime, look at all these beautiful plants. And I think, thank God, there's so many cool things going on. So Agape, perfect name for that one. Such a cool plant and paying homage to our Aunt Mary. Absolutely love it. I picked Starry Skies, another new one, fairly new introduction from Talon Buchholz. He named it just last year. Well, I'd say he's first started really getting into production in the last few years. Sometimes Talon holds on to things for a while, so it's like he finally started doing something with it, but he's had it for like 15 years or something. Starry Skies, really cool. You get a little bit of green in this one, but you get these really splotched, interesting. It's almost like a comet shooting across the sky approach to it, because you get these highlights of color even in the early spring. Really like Starry Skies, a medium size, 6 to 8 foot, very unique for the Higashiyama style. Stands out to me. Another seedling from Alpenweiss found there at the Buchholz farm.
So our next category was Ryusin or Ryusin style. This means it's kind of in that family where they just have that extremely cascading form. Matt, what did you choose for your Ryusin style?
So I went with the Fountain of Youth. It's springtime, feeling youthful. Maybe, I don't know, man. I'm feeling pretty old, honestly. But Fountain of Youth, maybe I can regenerate some youthful spirit with that one. I love Fountain of Youth. That was a seedling we found here. I really like it. It has more of a Matsumura style leaf on a Ryusei style growth. Leaves out a little bit of like salmon pink color, which is really nice. And I just kind of like how it cups down. For me, it's the best fall color of the Ryusins. I probably put this down because I have one. I can look out my front door and see the original one, and so it's kind of on my mind a lot. I see that one a lot of times. I think if I got that in production, I love that plant. So that one's the one that I'm geographically positioned near the original, so I can't help but think about it often.
I mean, it's got a great fall color too. I mean, the fall colors with yellows and oranges all infused at the same time. It's one of the best fall color Ryusin styles that I've seen. I think some people are sometimes confused with it too because it is a Matsumura. Mm-hmm. And so you think about lace leaves, those are heavily cascading, but this came from the lineage of Ryusin, in that Ryusin family, I should say. And it's got that heavily, extremely pendulous cascading habit, which really distinguishes it from other plants. And with that hand-like leaf, that Matsumura style leaf, really makes it special. I went with Looking Glass Falls.
Oh, nice one.
Looking Glass Falls,
Sister seedling.
yeah, as a sister seedling to Fountain of Youth, was found in that same time frame, and it has a nice sort of red border in the early spring. It's sort of homage. I mean, some Japanese maples actually they use terms like looking glass to describe in Japanese other Japanese maples, but this is named after a local waterfall, which also is an homage to how they introduce cultivars in Japan. They often put on their kigan, which often means waterfall, whenever it comes to introducing some selections. And Looking Glass Falls is named after a Looking Glass Falls here locally. I think I recently did a video with Matt talking, or actually with Corbin talking about, Japanese gardening and how, they look at nature. And I actually took Nakata-san to go see the local waterfall Looking Glass Falls. And it's kind of cool getting to show him the tree and then getting to show him the place that we named it after. So it has that heavily cascading habit. Just a beautiful selection.
Yeah, I really like that one as well. Gets about as big as you stake it. Really good purple border to it in the early spring. Really unique, I think, as far as Ryusei styles go. Really adds a lot to that kind of whole platform. We have a whole series of those. A lot of people know the Heat Seekers. Maybe not as many people know the Pendulous Treasures collection. But we do have a Pendulous Treasures collection that's kind of Ryusei style plants. Those are two of the best ones in that grouping, though, that we found. Big fan of Looking Glass Falls. A lot of people have started traveling to the real Looking Glass Falls when they come here for open houses. I've noticed a lot of pictures on Facebook when people come visit us. They'll swing by and see the original Looking Glass Falls.
Now, next up, we chose a Makawa type. And when we're choosing Makawa type, there's a few that we've talked about quite a bit, like Red Panda, Pandemonium, Kryptonite.
Let's exclude
so
those.
we went ahead and excluded those. We said, let's not talk about those. Matt, what did you pick for your Makawa type that's non-Red Panda, Pandemonium, or Kryptonite?
There's so many disclaimers on these collectors' corners. We'll be like, you can't talk about these 8. So I recently did a short, and it got some attention. Really like Acer Palmatum Ladybug. Really weird color. I mean, it's pink, some red infused, and some yellow right now. A lot of yellow and pink right now, and you kind of almost get a glowing effect with this one right now. They're just leafing out. But I got out there in the greenhouse, I was just staring at them, and kind of got lost in it a little bit. I think I stood out there for about 45 minutes just staring at the ladybugs. Love this plant, colorful. Just an all-around great plant.
I mean, that ladybug's pretty awesome. I dropped Munkawa Yatsubusa.
Oh, man.
Selection that was introduced in the trade by Keith Johansson. And I say introduced, like he's the one who bred it. I don't necessarily know how many he actually produced. We got it from him. And then we've put it a few times on our eBay. And it's soon, hopefully, to be coming soon to a 10 at 10 sometime in the future. He was having a moonrise come off the truck and it had blooms on it. And he looked over at his Makawa Yatsubusa and it also had blooms on it. And he took and hand pollinated the two. And the seeds that resulted, he selected Munkawa from. Now, we often debate, did he actually, create a hybrid between the two? Because there may be some sort of barrier. But the truth is that he looked for something that had moonrise-like traits, and he got something that had moonrise-like traits on a Makawa Yatsubusa. You get some reds and some yellows in there at the same time, some of that lime green kind of colors.
Kind of blushing apricots over top of it. I have one on the ground in my house, and absolutely love Munkawa. I've said this many times, and it's probably helped build the hype on this one. But I put it right there, after the Red Pandas, the Maydays, the Mystic Makawas, the Japanese Princess, the Kryptonites. It's right up there with like the premium Makawa family forms for me as well. I absolutely love that one. Really stands out.
Next up, we chose full moon types. And, I left that broad so we could choose Japonicums or Shirasanums, but I think we both chose Shirasanums.
What'd you go with, Tim?
I went with Acer Shirasanum Purple Umbrella. This is a newer selection, a purple leafed kind of color. And if you grow this in the right conditions, it can almost be like kind of black color, which is really crazy.
I've had that one in the spring. One of our customers, Brock, had a photo of this one time, and I said, that can't be right. And he had his in heavy shade and almost looked reticulated. So if you're growing this one in some shade, it can look really crazy. I mean, it gets almost a white reticulation to it in heavy shade. Now, if you're getting in sun, it can almost get black. So huge diversity of color there.
And Purple Umbrella has a more divided leaf than many other full moon selections. And I think that's sort of where it gets sort of that umbrella kind of look because it's got so many lobes out there. It kind of reminds you of like the points of an umbrella whenever you have an umbrella out. I mean, it is really unique for a nice upright, typically reaching that 8 to 10 foot in 10 years. And a full moon type that you really don't, see around that frequently.
I went with another new one by our same friend that introduced that one. I've got Acer Suicidum Sunny. Kind of picked Sunny because I just like the orange it is right now. Like they're just starting to leaf out. If you're giving this one some early morning sun, you can get a really bold orange going on. It's like a real full orange. I mean, it's like a Clemson orange, like a weird, bright orange. You don't see that many times, especially in the spring. And so for that reason, I went with Sunny. Now it does fade to like a yellow. So you get more of a yellow midsummer and it holds that really well. It's a seedling from Jordan, and you get a lot of similarities there for leaf size and growth. So it typically grows over a foot of growth a year. Really liking this tree, though. I mean, I know later in the season, not early, there'll be some threes coming out of this because it's so vigorous. We potted some up to threes, but really like this plant. I love its growth rate, love its color. But I'd say that really the thing that sets this one apart for me is that early spring orange. It's a bold, full orange, which is rare, especially for spring color.
Not only did they pot up, maybe 100 or so from 1 gallon to 3 gallons, I think there was 300 or 400 at least liners just recently getting potted to gallons as well. So
we've been offering a lot of here at Mr. Maple.
So we definitely got some good crops of those coming on. And I love how, it was found as a chance seedling from Jordan, and it's basically like an orange Katsura like version of Jordan, or Winayama's type version of Jordan, where you get that orange blush in the spring, and then you get that yellow color that's just outrageous. So, an amazing full moon selection.
I would say it's really close to Jordan, but that orange spring is enough to set it apart for me. That really gives it something extra that makes it, worthwhile. And I think it's such a unique color to see in the spring garden. You get a little bit of a yellowish eye to it with that bold orange. It really just sets it off for me. So coming up next, we've got Oridano Nishiki styles. So these are ones that have that pink and white, typically sometimes even a little bit of green going on in there, variegation. There's so many cool plants in that category. What'd you go with, Tim?
Well, in that category, there's a lot. And I love the Oridano Nishiki style. It's actually that time of the season to actually prune and promote variegation on your Oridano Nishiki style variegations.
Right before they leaf out.
Right before they leaf out. So if they haven't leafed out yet, go check out our video on how to prune the Oridano Nishiki style to promote variegation, so you can do that on yours.
Now, it's not true of every style variegation. We'll help you identify that a little bit in that video, too.
Yeah, so go check out that video on our YouTube show, the Mr. Maple Show on YouTube, and you'll get some ideas on that. The Oridano Nishiki style that I chose was Ilarian. Now, Ilarian is a selection that Talon introduced at his nursery. It was one of his many seedlings he has, and his seedlings he was going through at Buckholt's nursery, he would call Rising Stars. And then one day he sent all the employees out to go look and find something they thought was interesting. And Ilarian, who was working for him at the time, came and brought him this tree. And Talon was impressed by it and named it after him. And he said that Ilarian was one of the best workers he ever had. He really thought a lot of that kid. And Ilarian, it's just got some really nice white colors. And it's a really nice pure white. You may get a little bit of pink in the early spring when it first leaves out, but it can be extremely white just with flushes of growth. When Talon sent us our first Ilarian, it was in a 2 gallon, and it came in. Matt and I started freaking out. We opened the box, and it was just so much white on that variegation. It's a rock star when it comes to that category.
Yeah, it absolutely glows. I love the shade it gets. One of the wider of that whole Oridano Nishiki family. Now, you'll get some green in the early spring, but a lot of that will be that secondary flush in the summer. Really gets bright white on that. Really sets it apart. Typically 6 to 8 foot. Give it some protection from the high afternoon sun. Doesn't want to be in full shade or full sun a lot. Does do fine in full shade, but not one you want to put in the afternoon sunlight in most places. So I went with Daddy's Girl. Newer introduction there at Buckholt's farm. Named this one for my middle kid, Tinsley. Had to get Tinsley a tree in there. She's probably watching right now with me at home because we watch these together on the evenings, and she tells me who's in the chat. But love Tinsley. She's quite the personality. Many of you've met her at open house. She's a kid you can't forget. She's got a lot of personality. Really funny girl. I love her to death. And I had Pink Princess already for Carolina, so I had to have something for Tinsley. So when we found this seedling at Buckholt's, it was already in a 20-gallon container, so we didn't find it. It had been there for a while. It had been evaluated, and it was one of the smallest leafed Oridano Nishiki styles I've ever seen. You know, wanted to put my print on something at Buckholt, so we hadn't named something there yet. So I was testing the waters to see how Talon would do with us naming something too after buying it. So I think I'm going to put Daddy's Girl on this one. And it was a fun one. I think a lot of people are interested in this one. Should be coming out this year. A lot of dads with special little girls in their life too, so kind of fun there. And just beautiful colors, pink and white, small leaves. I would say the leaves are reminiscent even of something, Kiyohime-esque in size.
I thought it was odd because often Talon goes with the strategy when he's introducing plants. He puts a name on it and then evaluates and figures out whether it's worth to continue to produce. And this was, a 20-gallon.
It's been there a minute.
That did not have a name on it. It had a code name on it. We're like, what in the world?
And he definitely had it in the not sales area, so he'd been watching it for a while.
Yeah, I know. So
I think he liked it though. Talon's got some girls. He appreciated the name.
So it's just really cool and all that. Our next category is Heat Seeker. This is our Acer Olive Ranums, and I put in parentheses not hot blonde, Matt.
So I can't pick hot blonde?
So I can't pick hot blonde. Because most of the time if we choose a yellow or if we choose something, he's got to choose hot blonde. Because
you can't pick summer gold then.
So I'm choosing a Heat Seeker. We're on the Heat Seekers. We're not to that one yet. But when it comes to Heat Seekers, I went with Hot Chicken.
Oh, nice.
Hot Chicken is an Acer Olive Ranum that we collected as seed at World Maple Park. The same tree, if you go actually watch the video, you'll hear Yano-san talking on our World Maple Park video. Before we go look at the original hot tamale and hot sauce there at World Maple Park, he shows us the tree that he collected the seed off of for hot sauce and hot tamale, and he says, "Oh, this is from Taiwan."
And so I asked very nicely, Tim and I, there's some seed on here. May we collect it? And he allowed us to collect some seed as well.
And seed from that became Hot Chicken, which is a sessilifolium version of Acer Olive Ranum. Now, the really cool thing about
We're getting in the weeds here. We're getting geeky.
The really cool thing about this is when we were at World Maple Park, he took us to his quote-unquote Area 51. And, we're the one who calls it Area 51, but his hidden greenhouse he took us to. And in his back area, he had a sessilifolium that he'd selected off of the Olive Ranum. Mm-hmm. And it was one seedling. It was about 2 feet tall. And it was so cool because when we collected seed off of his Olive Ranum that he allowed us to collect off of, we also found that sessilifolium, which became Hot Chicken.
Yeah, really cool. This one actually blushes a bright red in the early spring. Kind of gives it that Nashville hot chicken look to it. You got a little hot sauce on the hot chicken. I do love me some hot chicken. So another thing near and dear to my heart. My daughter Tinsley, love her. Also love some hot chicken. I love some hot chicken now. I get down with some hot chicken. So this is another near and dear to my heart name coming here from MrMaple. I got a favorite. I like Prince's Hot Chicken in Nashville. That's my favorite. Mark Weatherden got me onto that one. It is the best.
Last time we were there, they were there.
Princey, the lady it was named for, was right there. Kind of a funny story. The reason Nashville Hot Chicken came about, this could be lore, but the reason it came about is because this guy was cheating on his wife, and he came in, and she said, "I'm going to mess his stomach up good." So she mixed up everything she could to kill his stomach, and he ate this hot chicken, and they said, "That's delicious." And supposedly that was Princey's parents, and that became Prince's Hot Chicken. So
that's
they
crazy.
got rich and famous, developed this whole new genre of food. We got Japanese maples named after it now. Hot chicken, love it.
Now, one thing to note too, if you didn't get a chance to go check out our 2 videos on World Maple Park and Masayoshi Yano, go check those out. They're a little bit of shaky, but you get to see Masayoshi Yano and World Maple Park. Y'all, you can't go see Masayoshi Yano anymore at World Maple Park. So that is an amazing chance to see.
Little piece of history.
Little piece of history. A little bit of
Maple
shaky
legend.
A little bit of shaky camera work whenever I'm going around there because literally I'm trying to document it. I wasn't trying to create a YouTube video at the moment.
Right.
But we thought we'd share that with you because it's a piece of history.
All right, so I went with a new member of the Heat Seeker series. What's that new member of the Heat Seeker series? This is a sister seedling to Hot Blonde that is a green that goes to a magnificent neon red in the fall. Another characteristic of this one that makes it really special, it's got the growth rate of Hot Blonde. It may even be more heat tolerant than Hot Blonde for like Dallas. Another interesting factor about this one is that it leafs out very late like Hot Blonde. So it leafs out 2 weeks later than things like Emperor One, which is an ideal quality in Acer Olivieranum.
It may even leaf out a little later than Hot Blonde too. I mean,
So guys, the newest member here of the Heat Seeker series, we're telling you first here today. It's called Heat Wave.
Whew, it's got a heat wave.
I don't know that song.
Y'all,
sing some more of it though, please.
Y'all, it's a super heat tolerant tree. It's so new. I don't think we've got a photo to show you yet.
I'll get you one.
We'll get you some photos soon. We'll be posting those on the Mr. Maple Friends group as it leaves out. But again, it leaves out late, so it's gonna be a couple weeks until it actually leaves out.
We're offering this year, but we do have some big stock plants of this. I mean, we have several of these that are 15 foot plus. We've been evaluating. It's a good plant. Has a glossy sheen to it in the early spring. Green color. A lot of what you like about Hot Blonde with a green, very vibrant red fall color. Leaves out late, though. I love that late leaf out time. I think that's kind of one of its superpowers. So this one kind of has two superpowers. Like we talk about Acer oliverinum being the most heat tolerant things in Section Palmata, is some of the most. And this one, it really has an extra superpower of leafing out late. I think it's going to help it expand zones. We're going to list this one just like Hot Blonde at zone 6 through zone 9. But I feel like in time, we'll be comfortable saying this one may go in zone 5 as well.
All right, guys. After the Heat Seeker category, we jump to ghost types. And this means reticulated style. We're excluding Firefly and Ghost Cascade.
We're going to start eliminating.
I know y'all love hearing us talk about those trees because they're awesome.
But we've talked about them.
We've talked about them a bunch. So we're going to choose different trees. And I'm choosing Jubilee.
Oh, nice one.
This is a seedling that has amber ghost-like qualities, but a shorter stature, almost as tall as it is wide, and 6'8" foot in height and width in 10 years. Gives you some of those really nice, just sort of amber hues in the early spring. I know Matt's got a gorgeous one at his gardens. And
some nice pinks too. I mean, it's one of the brighter, it's amber pink. Like it's a hard color to describe.
Yeah, I mean, it is really beautiful, strong reticulation. It's a selection by Talon Buckholz. We call it part of the new ghosts. So it's one of the types that after he quit putting ghost on them for a while, he was throwing different names out there. And, some of them were like Celebration and Jubilee. Mm-hmm. And Talon likes to have a good time.
Yeah, he named things Celebration and Jubilee because he's such a fun guy and he wants people to know about it. I love Jubilee. It's a fun time in my garden. That thing is bright. It's colorful. It's got just a translucent multicolor look to it. Almost feels like it glows in the spring because there's so many colors in that reticulation that it's nuanced. It's multi-level variegation. Hard to beat one of the new ghosts. So yeah, that's a good one.
So Matt, what did you choose for your ghost type?
I went with all of the new ghost series we haven't named yet. No, I went with Nebula. but
hey, don't tell them all about all those.
There is an entire series of trees coming out at some point that are sister seedlings to the new ghost that are unnamed reticulated trees that Talon Buckholz evaluated. Many are 20 years old.
Might just be a ghost series part 2.
There are 35 of those. There probably won't be all 35, but 9 to 10 of those may get narrowed down into a new selection, new names. Maybe we'll have Brother Tim Ghost. I don't know. No, we have no names on those yet. But I'll tell you, some of those things could rival some of your favorite reticulated forms. There's some absolute gems in there. Not all of them will get introduced, but there's an evaluation process going on those. They're all grafted and some crazy color patterns. I'll just throw it out there with you for a curveball. But no, I actually picked Nebula, which would be a sister seedling to some of these. Nebula, really funky, part of that New Ghost series, part of the Celestial series maybe. You could put Starry Skies, Nebula, Black Hole. We could have a whole cosmic series going on. I love it. Nebula is another one of those ones that has so many multi-layered facets to it. Like it's got so many different colors in there, it's hard to pick what it is. I love that when it gets that kind of lavendery purple shade. I think that's my favorite look on Nebula. It's another one you can stare at for just forever because it's nuanced, but it's got a lot going on.
I remember we had some 7 gallons down at our garden show down in Columbia when we would do garden shows before COVID. And, I was just taking photos of it like crazy because we had just this really nice sort of pink, orange, weird color on Nebula with strong green reticulated variegation. Mm. I mean, that's just insane what Nebula can do. And it's ever changing. I mean, if I had to say if there was a tree that would be the most like Firefly, I think Nebula is the closest to Firefly of anything else.
It changes every week too. Like it's one of those ones that you just take 2 pictures of it and they don't look the same. You take another picture next week, it doesn't look the same again. It's interesting. Talon's a poetic guy too. I mean, we've talked about this before, but if you look at an actual nebula, they're typically darker on the outside, lighter on the inside, kind of gives you that nebula effect. Just an amazing plant. Amazing plant. A little bit more upright, a little bit more narrow than some of the others as well, which is a nice feature. I notice a lot of the branches are kind of tighter on this one. Sealing from Amber Ghost. So it gives it a really good structure.
It's got a good fall color too. I mean, it's one of the better fall color of those new ghosts. Some really good shades of red in there. Awesome ghost type. Matt, I like your pick. Next, we went with Red Weeper. So this is, a category for something that's red and cascading. Matt, what did you choose?
I went with Maymont. Just something a little different. Hadn't talked about that one a lot. From Maymont Park. Got this one originally from Elizabeth Mundy, one of our mentors in maples. Just really cool lady. Introduced us to so many different plants. So I'm a little nostalgic about this one. Maybe I love the colors. I like how you can get kind of a pink red on the outside of it, and then it kind of gets a yellowish eye over time. Greens up a little bit midsummer, but just kind of bronzy orange fall colors sometimes too. Really, really a cool plant.
Now, when I think about Maymont, I think about the post tour that I took the Maple Society on after the DC trip. I think you had something else you had to do that time, and I was driving the van. And while I was driving the van, I had one of our mics, and I was giving people maple trivia along the way as I was driving. So I'm sure the people in the Maple Society loved it. But we went to Maymont Park, and
they're like, "Who is this dork? When's he going to quit talking about maples?"
And the Maymont Estate, they're in Virginia. Think of it almost not as fancy, but something kind of like the Biltmore Estate. And then they've got some beautiful Japanese gardens, and in the gardens, there's a beautiful old specimen, which is Acer palmatum dissectum Maymont. I mean, I think about those good times when I think about Maymont. But that's a good tree. I mean, I was shocked when we went by the South Carolina Botanical Gardens that they had a Maymont with our tag on it.
From us
down there at the gardens. I was pretty excited about that.
All right, I knew what you were going to pick before you picked it. That's why I picked mine, because I knew the one you would pick. Like, I just could tell. I could read your brain. Tell them what you picked.
You can read my brain. That's scary.
I can read your brain.
I went with Acer palmatum Firefall. To me, it's one of the new best weeping red lace leaves. It holds its color well. It can handle high heat. It's got a cherry red color instead of your typical maroon. And so it's a little more picked up red than a lot of your other red lace leaves. I think it's durable. I think it's got a great name with Firefall. Mm-hmm. And this is palmatum dissectum Firefall. Not to be confused with Siboldianum Firefall. But, I mean, it is an amazing tree, and I think it's going to become more and more of a staple in the trade.
We try to mass produce this one. I knew you were going to pick this because I love it too. And like, it obviously comes to mind when I think of red lace leaves that are kind of next level and new. Absolutely love it. It's kind of the fire glow of red lace leaves too. I mean, great shape, great color, kind of gets that orangey hue glow to it as well. Does great in full sun, even in the deep south. I mean, we've had this one tested in some just absolute bangers for heat. Auburn, Augusta, I've seen this one in South Carolina. So all your greatest hits for like really high heat areas. It's done well. Typically 4 foot tall, 5 foot wide, more of a low cascading umbrella. Yeah, Firefall's becoming a hit.
All right, so next we went with Red Upright. So I know we've got some different categories that we're going through here. With the Red Upright, I went with Sojo Nomura. This is an underrated upright red Japanese maple that can give you just some like scarlet red fall color. It's got a real big leaf. It's vigorous. It's easy to grow. I think about the one down at Tom Cox's at Cox Arboretum. I think that's probably some of our first starts on Sojo Nomura. When we were going down there collecting signwood, I think our signwood came from that tree years ago.
Our original stock plant's at Criticos is now, and it's huge. That thing's big.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's been years and years ago, walk around Cox Arboretum where we got our first starts of Sojo Nomura, but it is an underrated red upright. It's got a really beautiful leaf to it, and the leaf can sometimes point upward just a little bit, just sort of presenting itself.
It's elegant. It's got everything you want. I think sometimes we don't do enough of this one. It's a little underrated. Something I always try to remember to bring back. Great plant. So I went with Red Flash, another fun one. Just all around great plant. Another one from Girardelli Nursery in Italy that introduced Fire Glow. A lot of what you like about Fire Glow. This was their new improved form of Fire Glow at one point. I do think it gets some really showy, glossy sheen to it. Like you get this really nice sheen to it. Good grower, typically around 8 to 10 foot in range, and great cherry red fall color.
I remember Talon got a hold of Red Flash and really started producing it. And we drove probably 4.5 hours to one of his distributors.
Right. Spent
And
$75 on a 1 gallon.
$75 on a.
This isn't like 2000.
We're talking like a full 1 gallon.
Yeah. This is like 2009 when
And yeah, so we spent $75
that's like $180 now.
on this 1 gallon red flash to grab, and it's actually in the ground at mom and dad's now.
Great plant.
It's a great plant.
Handles the sun a good bit. I like it. I do see a little bit more refinement. Like I like Fire Glow for what it is. I do see some like nice glossy sheen on this one in early spring. So I see some interesting nuanced differences, almost cartoonish leaf to it. But yeah, just all around great plant. And I think that new growth, when it really hits, you get some darker growth. But then within that, especially the summer, you get that like premium red new growth sometimes. So you have darker growth, and then you get these flashes of red within it.
All right, y'all. So our last category for today is yellow, and I made sure that we couldn't choose hot blonde or golden falls.
Come on now.
And so we were just talking about Ghirardelli Nursery. I'm throwing another one out there to them. They introduced Summer Gold, but Matt said I couldn't choose Summer Gold either. So I'm going with Orange Dream.
I think we did a podcast on our top sales, and we owe Ghirardelli Nursery some royalties, baby. I don't know. We sell a lot of their plants, man. I think a lot of our top 10 were from them.
Fire Glow, Summer Gold, Jordan,
Red
Orange
Flash.
Dream, Red Flash, Red Autumn Lace,
Yeah,
Stella
man,
Rosa.
Stella Rosa is what I was thinking of. You can keep going.
They got some hitters. I'm going with Orange Dream here for my yellow. And Orange Dream is a beautiful yellow Japanese maple. And it needs some protection from the hot afternoon sun, but it can come out with some really nice shades of yellow, and it gets more yellow as the season goes on. Late summer, if you just give it a little bit of sunlight and some protection from the hot afternoon sun, you can get some blonde bleaching on it that is really beautiful.
I think that's my favorite time of the year for it. I think even in the new growth in the spring, if you really push the limits on it, you get like a bleached white pink. Like you get pink tipping to it.
It's nice. And it is an amazing tree in that 6 to 8 foot in height, about 6 foot in width in 10 years. Makes a beautiful specimen out there, can brighten up those spaces in the garden, and will draw your eye with that bright color.
I don't eat Japanese maples, but this one sounds delicious. Orange Dream. If I was going to eat one, I think that one sounds pretty tasty.
So, Matt, what did you choose for your yellow?
I went with another new ghost. I went with Blonde Beauty. Talon Buchholz introduction. Threw a little bit of variegation in here for a yellow. Kind of next level. I mean, I like the name Blonde Beauty. We were obviously thinking on the same wavelength when we came up with Hot Blonde. I kind of wish he would have called this Yellow Ghost or Golden Ghost. I mean, I think if people thought about this one as a ghost series, it would be even more popular because it really is a yellow member of the ghost series.
Yeah, I mean, it is beautiful. It has that sort of cream reticulation and then just becomes more with that blonde in it. And then it gets some of those same yellow bleaching effects that you love with Orange Dream on a ghost type Japanese maple.
One of the best for fall color too. I mean, it's got bright red fall color on it typically for me. Absolutely love it. And the ground's a good grower, puts on over a foot of growth a year. Very similar shape to something like Amber Ghost, so it gets out there. I love the structure of it. Yeah, it's just all around. Blonde Beauty is a great plant.
I say put Blonde Beauty in a container, push it out with a little bit of sunlight so you find its sweet spot. Because if you get in a sweet spot where you get some of those blonde highlights going across it during the summer, I mean, it's hard to beat that. It's just really beautiful.
All right, guys, that was our Collector's Corner for today. If you want to play along, let us know in the comment section below the video your favorites of these categories. If you listen to us on a podcast platform, make sure to give us 5 stars. But hey, head over to Facebook. It's called Mr. Maple Friends on Facebook. You can fill out the categories on there too. We'd love to see your answers to what your favorites are in each of these categories.
Y'all, thanks so much for jumping in today. Make sure you're subscribed here and over on our podcast platform, but also on YouTube as well. And if you like this type of content and you love doing this, you love listening to us, we'd appreciate if you supported us by shopping with us on MrMaple.com.
Yeah, check out our sponsor. They're amazing out here. They're called MrMaple.com. Those guys are awesome.
I hear it's owned by 2 brothers.
Yeah, they sponsor everything we do here content-wise. So definitely support them if you support us.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.